Okay, Browns fans, not a lot to love about the Cincinnati game, but that was by design. You knew that you had playoff seating kind of locked up, didn't want to get players injured, played a lot of backups. Really bad outcome. Fine. Who cares? Time to move on to the playoffs. Congratulations. In the playoffs, things are good. And you might have found a little secret weapon for not only the playoffs, but for next year. If you're new to the channel, we make videos for teams that don't get the love nationally like they should. Cleveland Browns being one of those teams. We're Detroit Lions fans, but we like to cover the Browns because just very similar and a lot of similarities in franchises, and has been for a long time. And now to see them both doing well is really awesome. So one player that stood out in the game against the Bengals was, let me get to it, Isaiah Maguire. Now, this is a rookie that the Browns have, a defensive end, hasn't played a lot. Missouri, 4th or 5th round pick, got a sack in this game. And it was really cool to see him get in there, get some playing action, and get a sack. And it's just like, oh, yeah, there's these guys, even with all the injuries, that still haven't played a whole heck of a lot, that were able to get in there and make some plays. And the cupboard's not bare, not only this year, but going into next year. So if you look at it, Isaiah McGuire's sitting here. Of course, you got Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith, your two top dogs, but then Isaiah McGuire is a third string defensive end. Now, what I like about this is in the playoffs, it always comes down to, can you get to the quarterback? Like at some point, you have to affect the quarterback. Otherwise, teams in the playoffs are so good. The quarterbacks are so good, especially in the AFC. Those quarterbacks are just going to beat you. Like eventually they just beat you. And again, like I said, in the AFC, you look across at the NFC where the Lions are, and you've got quarterbacks more like Jared Goff, who is a great, the running game's working. He's got weapons. He's a good quarterback, man. He can make the throws. He can make things happen. Versus over in the AFC, you've got Patrick Mahomes, right? I used the extreme example there, but you know what I'm saying. You've got to be able to get to the quarterback. So if the Browns have a couple extra defensive ends, hello, like that cannot hurt. So Alex Wright, Isaiah McGuire here, Sam Kamara. And again, I'm not a Browns fan watching every single game and dissecting it to a T, right? So Browns fans, let me know in the comments. Am I missing something with the defensive ends that you have? Obviously, we know who your horses are, but who can step up in the playoffs that you're not expecting? Who's somebody that can come out of nowhere? So Isaiah McGuire, somebody that could do that. And he's 6'4", 270. Love that. Missouri stud. And he had a sack, a couple tackles today. And he has played in a few games, but it's awesome to see him get in there and make something happen. And so maybe it's not him, but who's going to be your secret little weapon that ends up making some plays when you don't expect it, deep into the playoffs, a lot of injuries. You're reaching for somebody to make a play. He could be it. Next thing is, you see it across the league. You saw it with the Lions today. They had some key injuries late in the season. Not a lot to play for, a little bit to play for the Lions. They're locked in at the 3 seed. They could possibly get the 2nd, so they wanted to win division game. You can understand this, Cleveland Browns fans. You want to win. Like, I get why the Browns sat everybody, absolutely. But for the Lions, there's a little bit to play for. You're a franchise that just hasn't won a lot. Go win. Like, we're not in a position to just like, nah, I don't know. Go win. But Lions lose a couple key players today, and we'll see what happens, see if they're able to go next week. So the Browns absolutely make the right decision by sitting their key players, especially Joe Flacco. Craig did a video on this a couple days ago while Flacco was going to get paid $75K for every game that he played in. Well, they choose to sit him, so they still pay him the $75K. Really cool. And so just cool to see Joe Flacco really making it happen with the Browns. And as you look forward to the playoffs, a couple things that the Browns, I've been talking about this a lot, and I think they have the formula. They have the playoff formula. That is, you got a defense that's going to just keep you in games, number one. Number two, you've got a veteran quarterback that has proven. It's not like, well, let's see what Joe Flacco can do. No, he's proven now 5 weeks here, however long he's been here. He put up 4 straight 300-yard games. It's not because he's just throwing it deep either. He's hitting guys in stride. He's managing the offense. He's recognizing pressure, which That's what they tried to do to him early on when he first came back. Let's blitz him from all over. He won't be used to the speed. He won't be able to read. That was not true. He was reading things, able to make things happen. And then finally, the Browns can run the football. They haven't been super effective running the football, but over the last couple weeks, they started to run the ball more and more. And so they've got the potential or the threat of at least running the ball. You got to be able to run the ball, stop the run. We know that they can stop the run, but can you run the ball enough in the playoffs? And then Joe Flacco timely throws to Njoku, right? Defense keeps you in it. It's late in the game. Kick a field goal, win the game. Like, they know the formula. It's the AFC. It's going to be nasty. Like, it's just going to be tough to win in the playoffs now that you've made the playoffs in the AFC. Same in the NFC, right? It's the playoffs. You can't cherry pick who you're going to play and, and hope that you get no, it's the playoffs. Here we go. But you're giving yourself an opportunity. Maybe you get a player or two that comes out of nowhere on the defensive end. For example, on the defensive end side of the ball, where you're able to get pressure, get some depth. Maybe you don't realize you have depth. So again, let me know your thoughts in the comments on this one, Cleveland Browns fans. Excited to get this going, get this game behind us. It's fine, whatever. It's a loss. And let's move on and see what we got here in the playoffs. And we'll see all of you on the next one.